Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Zain and I'm from the Kingdom of Eswatini. But currently, I'm based here in Taiwan as a foreign English teacher slash ESL teacher. Welcome once again. So today's topic is quite interesting and well anticipated by so many of you. Yes, today we're talking about the ESL interview questions. Woohoo! I will share with you the top 10 frequently asked ESL questions, and then I'm going to interpret and explain to you what they actually mean. And last but not least, I'm going to guide you and give you model answers as to how to answer those questions so that you stand a very high chance of landing the job. One thing to note is the interview is only just 15 minutes long, so time is of the essence. Make sure that you give brief answers, yet very informative answers, and never give yes, no answers. Tell us about yourself. Usually, that's the first question they spring on you. So when this question comes up, they don't actually mean that tell us about your personal life. Oh, I've been married for 15 years. My favorite movie is blah, blah, blah. Or I have 7 children. No, they don't mean that kind of tell us about yourself, not your personal life. What they actually want is your academic life, your work experience, something that you're going to bring to Taiwan that they're going to use in the classroom. So this kind of a question actually wants you to focus on your qualifications, your work experience, your passions as a teacher, your teaching style, and not your personal life. Let me give you an example of how you can answer this question effectively. So, tell us about yourself. First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to be interviewed by this great panel. My name is Zanele Ziane, and I come from the beautiful kingdom of Eswatini. I hold a Bachelor of Arts degree in Humanities, majoring in English language and literature, as well as African languages and literature. On top of that, I have a postgraduate certificate in education, PGCE, in the same majors. I've been a teacher in Eswatini for over 10 years, teaching English language, literature in English, as well as the Siswati language. I've taught different levels throughout my career, which include elementary level, junior high school, as well as senior high school. I'm a teacher who's very passionate, and I love to see my students smiling and enjoying the class. Thank you. Another important question that you may be asking in the interview is, why do you want to teach in Taiwan? This question actually wants you to talk about the good and appealing things about Taiwan. It should never be about the money or bad mouth in your country. I want to teach in Taiwan because I've always wanted to teach abroad, and Taiwan has always been my #1 destination. On top of that, Taiwan has one of the best education systems in the world, and I feel that as a teacher, it's really going to help me grow. I also love the fact that Taiwan has one of the lowest crime rates in the world. Who doesn't want to be safe? Last but not least, I want to experience and taste the local food and cuisine that Taiwan has to offer. Next question. How will you teach a class with high and low level students? Now let's unpack this question. So nasikhuluma about high-level students, sikhuluma ngebantfwana laba very intelligent, laba sheshe understand a concept when the teacher explains it. And then we have the low-level students. So those are the students that need more attention, more time, more examples. Kuze i-concept bayibambe. Shothi bona they're a bit slow in grasping concepts. To answer this question effectively, you can talk about using the differentiated instruction method in your classroom. So that means you're going to use different teaching styles and activities to appeal to all the levels within the classroom so that everybody benefits from your lesson. For example, you can have group collaborations or group activities where you mix the students, the high level and the low level students together, through peer learning, where the high level students can assist the low level students. Or you can switch it up and take the low level students, put them in one group because they don't need much attention. They can talk to each other and help each other. Then you can concentrate on the low level students, babe board for nabo, and then you can facilitate them fully. Another thing you can do is while you're teaching the students, you can actually read the story. Actually, reading the story appeals more to the high level kids because when are very intelligent, but willing for by phones and then make the pictures in their mind. But then for the low level students, let's listen to the story. And then maybe after listening to the story, they can actually watch the story. So if you do all those elements and switch up the teaching methods, you'll find that all the levels actually benefit from the lesson. The last thing you can do to actually appeal to all the levels so that they all benefit from the lesson is to design different worksheets. So funzisile i-concept yakho sofuna kuba test ekugcineni babhala umsebenzi. So make sure that when you design your worksheets, if you have different levels in a class, nale worksheet yakho iba different. Same information but different styles. For example, low level students can have a worksheet. You can design a worksheet that has bigger words and then some pictures, and then kungaba multiple choice because bona remember bayathanda into kuyibona kulukhuni ukuthi bayicabange, so they read the story and then have a multiple choice. So bona batawakhetha lama answers because bafunza better when they see something. And then for the high level kids, very intelligent students, bona, they just read the story from the book. Bese baba nema open, like baba nema lines. They can just have lines. The answers, the sentences, because bona vele bayakwazi ukwakha the mental pictures just from reading the words. So the two different worksheets, actually we'll see I've got two different levels in the classroom. So you're trying to make each and every level benefit from the lesson. Next question, what are your classroom rules? Well, classroom rules are the base of every English class because they help a lot with classroom management, guiding the students on how to behave, and also maintaining discipline in the classroom. I suggest having 3 or 4 simple rules so that the kids can memorize and always remember them. How will you communicate with your core teachers? That's another important question to know. So who are the core teachers? So core teachers are the local Taiwanese teachers that help you in the classroom or that you teach with in the classroom, depending on your core teaching style. So communication and collaboration with your core teacher is very important because niya eklasini kanye kanye, nifundise kanye kanye, and actually ekugcineni you just want the best for the students. So kumcoka ukuthi nikhona communicator so that nitawukhona produce a lesson that will be very beneficial for the students. So there are many ways of communicating with your core teacher. You can communicate through face-to-face interactions. You can have meetings. You can communicate through text messages on the messenger line. You can communicate through Google Drive. You can send emails to each other. You can have conversations. So ubenalama examples to show that you understand that you and your core teacher in constant communication about the lessons that you're going to teach in class. Another question, how will you incorporate technology into your teaching? Of course, our teaching of English back home is not really rooted in technology, but you can produce a very good answer for this question because you've done your research. Ungaqali nje usho ukuthi, "Awu ekhaya thina singisa sisifundisa nge-technology sisifundisa ngencwadi." No, give a good answer that shows that you've done your research. Examples of technology, you can talk about audios whereby the kids listen to a story or listen to music related to the topic, which is something lakaya. Is now a listening part where they have to listen to stories and listen to interviews. And then also about PowerPoint, using PowerPoint PPTs to teach the students. And then you can talk about watching of videos. You can also mention that kids can go and do online activities or play online games that are related to the topic. So I think those examples will just take you far in answering this question. Next question, how will you motivate your students to learn in class? This is a very important question because motivation is absolutely the crux of learning. So you always want your students to be happy and eager to learn in your class. One example of motivation is to actually give your students praise whenever they give you a good answer in class. So when they raise their hands to give you an answer, you can say, "Well done, Ben. Good job, Lucy. High five, Max." So loko kuyabajabulisa nje abantwana ukuthi, "Wow, I did a good job." You can also give them stars or points whenever they give you good answers. And last but not least, you can give them quick feedback on their work. So nangabe bebabhala nje umsebenzi, yamaka. Very quickly, next session, yabanika umsebenzi wabo, bayajabula abantwana. Question number 9 is about classroom management. How will you manage your class? So this one actually wants you to talk about how you will keep the kids disciplined and well behaved in your class. So examples you can use to manage your class include reinforcing the classroom rules. Constantly remind the students of the classroom rules to keep them disciplined. You can also take away the points, take away the stars in order to keep the students well behaved and disciplined. Question number 10. What is your teaching philosophy? So, a teaching philosophy is your personal teaching style. How do you deliver an effective and engaging lesson in class? So, here you can talk about how you like to use the student centered teaching style as opposed to the teacher centered teaching style. The student centered teaching style is pro students and allows the students to have more talking time, more brainstorming time. And as a teacher, you simply act as a facilitator, not as the boss. You can also mention that you like your class to be lively and fun. That's why you incorporate your teaching with fun activities like games, as well as group collaborations, presentations to keep the class very active and fun for the students. Last but not least, you can also mention that you like to incorporate the 4 English skills in one lesson. That is listening, speaking, reading, and writing, so that the kids can practice all the skills in your class. That is all I had for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please click that subscribe button. If you have any questions, write them down in the comment section. See you next time. Bye.